Welcome to another edition of the IBEW Our Power Good Newscast. I'm Erica McClarity. In the midst of the pandemic, we are celebrating the selfless acts of our brothers and sisters, and we're acknowledging the good news that is all around us in spite of it all. I got to speak with Annabella Rose from Local 465 in San Diego about the new and creative ideas they have to help.
Thank you so much for doing this with us. We hear that there is a lot going on with your local. Tell me about it.
So I've been released from my local to work with our San Diego and Imperial Counties Labor Council to work at a food pantry for union members that need food. Every week we make appointments for folks. We go outside and give it to them in their car so that they don't have to come inside. And then every Saturday the Labor Council does a food drive at the stadium here in San Diego, which they've served like over 1,000 families every weekend. You know, our members, they're essential workers, right? We represent workers in the utility, represent workers in public transportation, our mechanics, our flaggers. So we've also been working on getting proper PPE for them, getting LOUs for them to be able to get, more sick days off. Our Labor Council also got together with the United Way here in San Diego and our employer SDG&E. They all came together and partnered up for a fund to help people pay for rent, mortgage, utilities, things like that. In a time like this, for us to be able to come together with community as labor and even businesses, it's huge. And people are beginning to be like, oh man, like being part of a union is a good thing, you know?
It's like family, right?
Yeah, it is. There's good news at IBEW Local 465. Always
Perfect.
good news.
I love it.
In Queens, New York, our brothers and sisters at Local 3 are working tirelessly to get a temporary hospital up. They made this video here at Columbia University clearly proud to be constructing what they are calling a pop-up hospital. Thank you, Local 3, for rising up to help meet the healthcare challenge in the hardest hit area in the entire world. And the hardworking members of IBEW Local 103 in Boston are doing the same. They traveled to Long Island to help build much-needed temporary field hospitals. Stay safe, brothers and sisters. In Kennewick, Washington, every single week, volunteers from Local 112 are delivering doorstep groceries as part of the Adopt a Family program. Meet Nellie. She was asked what she thought of the program, and she said, "As a 69-year-old woman with a compromised immune system, I'm scared to death to go into a public space. These volunteers are angels. Thank God for you, Moses Tarascano, and the IBEW volunteers." IBEW Local 58 in Detroit is supporting critical infrastructure. I was able to talk to Brian Richard, who's the business manager, and find out what's going on with their local.
How's it going out there in Detroit?
We're getting hit hard, as you see on the national news. So we're one of the locations in the country where the Army Corps has decided to build overflow or temporary hospitals. We have a 1,000-bed facility that we've completed at our downtown convention center. And then we have another convention center in northwest of the city that we're currently finishing up, a 250-bed hospital.
How hard is it to just convert a convention center into a hospital?
With the right people, it's easy, but it's still a major undertaking. The logistical side of it is pretty hairy. There's a lot of things that got to come together in a short period of time. According to the Army Corps, this was the quickest one that's ever been put up. Both these jobs were 7 days a week, 2 12-hour shifts or longer. So we're working around the clock, and it's really something to see it come together. So there's good news at Local 58.
In Alaska, IBEW 1547 journeyman Eric Brewer is adding a skill set that you won't find in any of our journeyman upgrade courses, but is still quite valuable nonetheless. He's learning to sew masks, and not only that, in true IBEW fashion, he's passing on his new skill set to others. He's using the hashtag #RealMenSew. Here he is with his sewing machine, making masks and doing a tutorial.
And it's pretty simple to do. If you're sitting around at home looking for stuff to do, making masks is a good thing and easy.
And here is Andrew Scrambler, another 1547 member that is making sewing a family affair. His son is really taking an active role in doing his part to keep the PPE moving. IBEW Local 654 in Philadelphia is doing essential work inside Crozier-Chester Medical Center and noticed firsthand the tireless dedication and sacrifices of the healthcare staff. So they wanted to say thank you to the nurses and doctors. Local 654 with members from NECA provided 500 lunches to the hospital workers. Union members said workers are going above and beyond during this pandemic and putting themselves in harm's way. They just wanted to show them how appreciated they are. We know there are more areas where IBEW members are doing their part. So when you post your photos and videos on social media, tag IBEW Our Power in the post. We'll get to as many as we can for our next edition of the IBEW Our Power Good Newscast. Thanks for the click and keep spreading the word. For IBEW Our Power, I'm Erica McClarity.